Good evening, Empire Oaks students. Thank you for joining me for Sunday Stories. I am excited about tonight's story. It's called Sofia Valdez, Future Prez by Andrea Beatty. And I hope you enjoy it. Sofia was a baby who got things done, helping her family before she turned 1. She and Abuelo went out every week to help elderly friends around Blue River Creek who couldn't get out and about on their own with no place to gather, were stuck home alone. Abuelo means grandpa in Spanish. Okay, so that's Sofia and her grandpa helping others. Raking the leaves, taking pets for a walk, or just dropping by for a treat and a talk. Sofia Valdez did as much as she could for her family and friends and her whole neighborhood. A dreamer, a doer, a real-life go-getter. Most people like good, but Sofia liked better. Each morning, Abuelo walked Sophie to class. They walked home again along Blue River Pass, making plans, munching cookies, Abuelo and girl, except for that Tuesday when Pup saw the squirrel. With a howl, Pup took off racing all through the town, over, under, beneath, and around. Sophia scrambled to try to keep up with the hollering man and the bellowing Pup. You see me turning the book all around because the words are all different directions. What's happening? Have you ever been on a walk with a dog and the dog sees a squirrel? So you see what's happening to Grandpa? Or Abuelo. Up the squirrel ran to the top of a hill, made of leftover junk for the local landfill. They reached the tip top of that mountain of trash, which jingled and broke with an ear-splitting crash. You okay, Rocky? You coughing? Come here, baby. Oh, hi, Zico. Hi. Oh, Zeke wants to play with one of his little Christmas toys. You ready? Okay. Down they all tumbled and hit with a thud on a moldy old pumpkin surrounded by mud. Ouch, cried Abuelo. He struggled to stand. A dangerous mess, he said, grasping her hand. The next day, Sofia walked to school solo, but it wasn't the same without her Abuelo. This is not right, declared young Sofia, who glared at Mount Trashmore and got an idea. Oh. The very next morning, at dawn, she planted a sign at the front of the lawn. She stood back and smiled, and Pup gave a bark. It says, "Get rid of Mount Trashmore. Let's build a new park." Each of her neighbors had something to say about benches and fountains and places to play. Meeting spots, gardens, a basket for bees, a rubber duck pond, and a kiosk for cheese. She drew every thought of her... Hi, baby. She drew every thought on her map of the park, which was perfectly perfect by a quarter till dark. Do you guys see Zeke? Zeke wants in on this story tonight, huh? Is that what Zeke's doing? Or he just wants to play. See his little toy? Ready? Oh, okay. Okay. Gonna drop it? Drop. Good boy. Drop. He keeps grabbing it from me. Drop. Okay. She drifted to sleep in her soft, cozy bed. Then bam, she woke up when a thought smacked her head. Her heart skipped a beat as she realized each one of her neighbors had said, "Let me know when it's done." They all thought Sofia could build it alone, but how could one girl do so much on her own? The weight of that thought made her tender heart ache as night thunder growled and she lay wide awake. Then dawn brought a storm and the gloomy sky wept, and the heartsick Sofia finally slept. Abuelo baked cookies when Sophie got up. He gave her a bagful and sneaked one to Pup. He blinked back a tear as he hugged to Sofia. For courage, he whispered, "Te amo, mi vida." Sophia's knees wobbled. She felt weak inside. She looked at his ankle and quite nearly cried. Though she didn't feel brave or courageous at all, Sofia Valdez went to face City Hall. Look at that illustration. Look how tiny Sofia looks compared to that big City Hall. The mayor's office sent her to room 401, the Blue River Creek Department of Fun, which sent her downstairs to room 302, the Office of Duck Ponds and Cool Things to Do, the office of Monkeys, the Department of Cheese, the Division of Fountains and Meetings and Bees, then down to the basement so musty and cramped, where all the town's papers were sorted and stamped. And that's where the clerk said what no one else did: "You can't build a new park, you're only a kid." How do you think that made Sofia feel? The words smacked Sofia deep down in her heart. Her plan was kiboshed before it could start. "I think," said Sofia, I think that law's wrong." But her second grade voice didn't sound very strong. The clerk said, "Clearly, it cannot be done." "Do you have any questions?" Sofia said. "One. If you were me and I was you and he was your grandpa, what would you do?" Well, said the clerk. Then she said nothing at all. She thought, and then she sent out a call to every employee throughout City Hall. The entire government of Blue River Creek crammed into the office to hear Sophie speak, but her words jumbled up and her cheeks turned bright red as a dozen emotions rushed into her head. Her heart beat so loudly she thought it would crack. The crowd leaned in closer. Sofia leaned back. Then her arm brushed the edge of the old cookie sack. And that was the moment Sofia first knew being brave means doing the thing you must do, though your heart cracks with fear, though you're just in grade 2. She took a deep breath, looked the mayor in the eye, and though her knees wobbled, she held her head high. Sofia started talking. She spelled out her plan and why it all mattered and how it began. And once she got rolling, she had lots to say about meeting spots, monkeys, and places to play, and other ideas for things they could do to help the town elders and other folks too. She had thoughts on the library, thoughts on the zoo, and perhaps a way to combine the two and get all of her ideas. All right, cried the mayor. Go start a petition. If the town wants a new park, then we'll form a commission. And so young Sophia got right to work with some help from her family and pup and the clerk. Can you see all their signs? Let's build a park for everyone, sign our petition, bark for parks. Oh, wow. Lots more signs. Then others joined in, not all, but a few, like Miss Lila Greer and the kids in grade 2. Like all of her classmates and friends. There were hearings and surveys and taxes to figure, then bulldozers, cranes, and a blue bigger digger. They all built that park. That's how it got done. With the hard work of, by, and for everyone. But it began with a dream of one person, just one, who laced up her shoes and led the way to help Blue River Creek get a new place to play. Now, every evening till long after dark, the town comes together at Citizens Park. They all hold this truth to be self-evident, that Sofia Valdez could grow up to be president. Until then, Sofia, that real-life go-getter, helps Blue River Creek get better and better. Okay, so that's it. Sofia Valdez, future Prez. And that is our Sunday story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a wonderful evening and sweet dreams.